Today we're giving you the framework that will calm down your brain and sharpen your training, and it is the rule of thirds. Well, we learned about this from Alexi Pappas's book, Bravey, and she got it from her then coach, Ian Wright.
The rule of thirds is very simple, and it goes like this. A third of the time during your training, you should feel good. Like you finish a workout and you're like, yes, right? A third of the time you should feel kind of okay. Like you finish it, you're like, all right, it was kind of in the middle. Yeah. And a third of the time, you should be feeling pretty crappy, right? You should be like, oh, that sucked, or I didn't complete it as planned. It should not necessarily feel good. Not injury bad, but crappy.
So if you look at this pie chart of these thirds and you find that you're feeling good more often than not, you're feeling good all the time, then you're probably not pushing hard enough. And if you feel bad all the time, then you're maybe overreaching, under-recovering, overtraining, or heading towards injury. And when you think about it like that, it's just so simple.
It is. It's great, though. It's completely spot on. It gives us a lot of perspective, too, as an athlete, when you get ready to do a workout, knowing that you have a 33.33% chance of it sucking.
Yeah.
When it starts to suck, I think you react less against it too, because you're like, oh, well, this could have happened.
Absolutely. So for my athletes, I've found that they say that it helps them frame up those bad days in a more helpful way. And like you said, they don't get in their mind before a workout. Yep. So it's beneficial before and after a workout. One note about that last third, so the part that is supposed to feel crappy, as Alexi puts it. Crappy doesn't mean injured, sick, or burnt out. Crappy means like your legs feel heavy, your paces are maybe harder than usual, or you're not able to hit your paces, or you feel like you're mentally grinding in that workout, but that's different than actual pain or like true fatigue from being, totally spent.
Right, or deficient or something along those lines. Yeah.
Right.
Why the rule of thirds changes everything when it comes to training, frankly, it gives purpose to the hard days. We know that they're going to be hard, right? And they could fall in any one of those three buckets, but it's possible. Instead of reacting emotionally, you're able to zoom out, specifically when you're in the moment. Tough days stop meaning like, I'm not doing enough, or I'm not in shape, or I'm never going to get to my A goal, I'm never going to be cute, whatever that is. And they start meaning, oh, I'm actually in the process. This is part of the process.
Yeah, so it's the magic of expectation, right? So if you are expecting that a third of your workouts are going to feel hard, then you don't panic in that moment. And if you expect only a third of them to feel good, then you really sort of savor those days when you actually get one of those moments where you're feeling like you're in the flow and everything is clicking for you. So it really helps to stabilize your mindset.
This is something that, brand new runners all the way to experienced runners, people coming back into sport, I think if they adopt it early on, so much is saved. So many new runners that I talked to, and really when NRC was like growing, and we noticed this trend that they thought that, well, once I did 2 runs a week and I went to 3 runs a week, everything should just feel good then. Right. And it's like, then they were really bummed when they had a bad run. And my reaction was always like, you're fully a runner now. You had a shitty run. Mm-hmm. Congratulations. Like, welcome to the club. This is training. And it just helps reframe that as like, oh yeah, this is just what's going to happen.
So how can you apply this to your training, the rule of thirds? But first off, you should track your ratio. So that means use your training journal or your training peaks to mark down how you felt in workouts. You can label each one, good, okay, or hard. And that gives you the opportunity to look back over your training block and then really zoom out. We want to look at this from the perspective of either a training block. So we talked in the past about periodization. A training block would be a 3 or 4 week chunk of time, as opposed to 1 week. If we're looking at 1 week, you might have a week where work is tough, you have life stress, you're not sleeping well, and everything feels hard. That doesn't mean that you're on the wrong side of training, you just might be having a hard week. If you zoom out and look at that big chunk, you can get a more accurate picture of where you're sort of falling in this rule of thirds.
If you're noticing that you're having too many good days, what do? I think this is a panic more often for more experienced runners because they're like, what's happening? Why do I feel good? Like, this shouldn't be happening. And if you notice that it's especially like half of your workouts and you are doing intensity and duration, are just way too easy, chances are you might be understimulated. You might be like soft footing it a bit. So a good way to do this is to retest your fitness with a race or a time trial. You can do a 2-mile time trial. You can do a 5K and see if that pace card needs to be updated. Chances are it does. And so I would, get someone to time trial with you that is faster than you, that can help pull you and really see what that potential is. And then reset it. Don't be afraid to make your life a little bit harder, because it means that you're going to be training in the correct zones.
Yeah, you're right. Our experienced runners face this one more, because when you're a newer runner or you've been running for a little while, we are all seeking that good feeling.
Yep.
Right. So like they want to feel good. No one is questioning feeling good when you're starting off, but it is a sign of progress. Okay, that's what to do if you have too many good days. What happens if you have too many days that are just sort of like meh, just okay? We recommend that you add a little bit of spice, especially if you have been running the same route at the same pace every day.
We see this so often.
So much. I mean, we're creatures of habit.
I am also guilty of this. If you leave me to my own devices, I will do the same 4 miles to and from the lake with maybe 15 seconds a mile difference.
Yep. I mean, we all have our recovery routes basically, right? I have the same. I know exactly how long it'll take me. I do this. It's a circle. I don't even go the other direction.
No.
I always go
direction.
The same way. So if you are one of those folks, or you're a treadmill runner who just sets it to whatever on the treadmill and just goes, you might need to add a little bit of spice. And we're talking intervals, tempo, speed work, hills, just to vary up the stimulus a little bit. Maybe you have to adjust your pace card, but maybe not. It might be enough for you to just add these quality sessions.
And last but not least, you saw this one coming. What happens if you have too many crappy days, too many days where things just feel way too hard? This is absolutely a red flag. So common causes, again, zooming out at bigger training cycles, 4 weeks, 8 weeks at a time. Common causes can include overtraining, poor sleep, too aggressive paces, especially common when you're returning from injury, or, maybe using the prior season's pace card and not bridging the gap. Because again, on the flip side, you're going to be using too fast of paces, which are also the wrong zones, and you're just trashing your body. So to deal with these, put the ego away, right? Dial back a bit, and then allow you to kind of slow it down or take one of the pieces of spice out. Too many hard days is absolutely a precursor for injury and overtraining and burnout. And remember, your fitness only actualizes in the recovery phase. So if you are going too hard on too many days, your ability to recover is impossible, and you're going to feel like junk all the time. One note on the hard days and how they feel. If you are a newer runner or you're coming back into sport, I will say dialing back intensity is super important. You might not feel super great and fluid for a few weeks.
All right, so to frame this up as our final note here, of course, we all want to feel good when we're out on a run. So that's honestly why a lot of people, especially our recreational runners, run, right? Is because it feels good. When the feeling after a run is satisfying. But we want you to remember that hard days are not failures. They're evidence that you're chasing something really meaningful to you. All of our athletes have found this to be incredibly helpful in thinking about their training and in navigating their training, and we hope that you do too. Check out Alexi Pappas's book, Bravey, for more information about this and other great stories. She's just an incredible writer. It's an excellent book. It should be required reading for every athlete.
If you're finding yourself in a block of crappy workouts and lacking motivation, check out this video on what to do when you're just not feeling it.